So now, let us begin with the word depression. And let's separate it, shall we? Depressing. Can you define both of those words? Depressing. What does press mean? What does D mean? Depressing means releasing, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because wouldn't then the proper word for depression, rather than depress, which is a release, shouldn't it be suppress? Wouldn't you suffer more from a suppressed state than from a depressed state? Will you turn to your neighbor and explain why? Now, how many of you see clearly, just with that simple explanation, the dynamics of what you've been doing? The difference between depression and suppression. How many of you see that? Now, depression, when we speak in terms of being pressed into service, for example, we are being pressed into an incarnation, we are being pressed, as it were, to look at something, as you like to say, then that means we are involved in it. When we are suppressing, that which is termed the same analogies, is when we've elected not to become involved in it. How many of you understand? You do. So now, depression in its root understanding is when we as spiritual beings who have composed ourselves of consciousness and energy, it's our machine, move into a biophysical element, such as the body, that is uniform enough to facilitate our wishes. The body has to become, as well as its master controller, the brain has to be in compartments in order to fit nicely our spiritual composite. Are you still with me? And still be able to fulfill the mandate of make known the unknown. So the brain and its body we wear comfortably. When we are unawakened, we think we are our body. We calibrate ourself in terms of our physicality. Indeed, in terms of our face, our arms, our breasts, our penises, what we own, what we don't own, how old we are. That is a sign of an unawakened spiritual person. And remember, we've already talked about, it's called the sleeping dead. Now, we say that because when you are your body, you cannot possibly understand the sophistication of the body in terms of its compartments and how it works, independent of we saying that we are it, for example. That's why dreams are still a mystery, because we keep thinking in terms that we are the body, and that sleep is a mystery, because when we go to sleep as human beings, we are turned off at the brain stem. So the mysterious goings-on that happen when we are unconscious is always been the pursuit of the unawakened, because the unawakened are bodies and lives trying to make sense of being bodies and lives. The spiritual creature that you are wears this very well-fitted biological garment. And the biological garment has in it areas that are still mute to neurological exploration and still pose tangible mysteries, not only in medicine, but also in the field of human psychology. And the reason is because you cannot possibly understand what you are until you are no longer it. Do you understand? Yes. How many of you understand? So now, we are spiritual beings composed of 7 bodies of knowledge, 7 minds of knowledge. We are spiritual beings composed of 7 levels of differentiated consciousness and energy. That is the composite of the spirit from point 0. In order for us to viably explore this terrain, we must have a space suit that can accommodate the spiritual aspects of what we are. 7 minds, 7 bodies, 7 frequencies, 7 levels of consciousness. That is the sacred 7 of the spiritual self. And the garment must be able to facilitate that.